welcome back to the Junior Mints podcast. I'm still a little congested because it's smoky. I'm Finnmints. I'm your host. Welcome to the show. I don't know. So in relation to my let's not talk about politics video, I figured, hey, what's another touchy subject that we all don't want to talk about? Religion. And so religion is one of those things that, people can lose their absolute crap over. Like, oh, if you don't believe in this, let's see. Like, if you don't believe in this, then that means you're like a sinner. I'm like, okay, calm the frick down, okay? Like, actually, before I start my let's call it a rant, right? Before I start my rant, I just want to say that this isn't a poke at anybody that I know. Sure, I've run into people and have had like conversations with people that kind of make me just go like, this freaking guy's is kind of crazy, but that's just me. Like, it's not a poke at anyone I know. I'm just expressing how I feel, and I think that's fair. So like, I think it took place. Let's see. So the first little interesting interaction that I've had, I didn't really interact with them, but it happened on my college campus one time. What was I doing? I was like longboarding to class or something, and then, you know how every college has a quad, or like an area where they do like activities and like people stand out there and they like advertise stuff, and. So I was longboarding through the quad, right? On my way to like one of my classes, who knows? And I see this one dude holding a large freaking sign, 3 of which all have like, I'm going to use the word religious propaganda on it because that's kind of what it is. The word propaganda has had actually a lot of negative connotation to it ever since, that one thing in 1945, but whatever. So anyway, the dude was holding the sign and like he was shouting stuff. He's like, "You're a sinner if this, and you're a sinner if or it's like, the Lord's name in vain is a sin, blah, 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 blah. It's like, you're a Satanist if it. I'm like, what the crap? And like, me being, it's like, I longboarded by, and I had to like look back, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I asked one of my friends, I'm like, yo, did you see that one dude in the quad? And he's like, oh, you mean sign guy? Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, sign guy. He was like shouting all like religious like statements and like, if you don't believe in God, then it's like, see, this is why. Okay, you know what? This is why. This is exactly why I don't talk about religion usually, because like, A, there's lots of perspectives about it. B, people have a lot of personal experiences with it, whether it's good or bad. And C, there's no. So this is kind of a hot take, but it seems like there aren't really there's no like right or wrong answer, in my opinion, and from what I've seen. Like, people may think there are right and wrong answers when it comes to like which perspective is right, but when you think about it, there aren't really there's only like one, I don't know, but which brings me to my next experience. There was one time, let's see, I was a junior in college, I think. So like my third year, and so it was one of those times where I was kind of feeling like a little depressed and like a little bummed out and depressed and stuff, And so I thought like, hey, let's Like, let's try new things, you know? It's like, just, I mean, you should try new things, even if you're happy, sad, just try new things. My point is, I was like, kind of yearning to try something else, like, try something new, just for the heck of it, right? And so I stumbled upon this group of people on my, or in my college community, right? And let me just say this, the people in the community are freaking nice. They are probably the nicest people I've ever met. Like, I actually have a couple best friends from those people. And they're not bad people. Although I would like to say that the way that they communicated some of the messages that they were telling me, okay, that was a little much. Like, one of the community leaders, and they're all great people, but the way they communicate their messages are like, okay, what the crap is this? So my point is, one of the group leaders, I was interested in joining the group, right? And this is where religion comes back in, and just beliefs in general. I was sitting down with the group leader, and he was like, asking me all these questions, like, uh, where do you see yourself, like, religiously and all that, and whatever. And I told him where I was, and I thought it was good because they're a welcoming group, which they are. This guy, though, he seemed a little bit different, right? Like, I told him where I was, and he's just like, oh, well, that means you're this, or that means you're that. I'm like, I'm sorry, I thought you were supposed to be a welcoming community. But it turns out that he's the only member of that group that was actually different. Everybody else, I still keep in contact with them today, like, with those people today. Like, they're great people. I can't stress that enough. Just because they believe a certain thing does not mean they're bad people. You know what I mean? Like, sure, they scared me a little bit, but they are also really supportive. Which is like, okay, regardless of what I believe in, what I believed in and all that, they still are like, hey, what's up, Finn? How you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm doing good, and stuff like that. It's great. I love it. So it's kind of like, let's see. Religion is just one of those things where you kind of have to just, so from my personal experiences and like what I've seen and observed and blah 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 blah, religion is one of those people. Religion is a person now. Yeah, great. No, but religion is one of those concepts and like things that like you kind of have to, like, you have to find your place in it. It's like you have to find your place in the circle of that. You know what I mean? Like, I know some people are gonna disagree with that, but like, you have to find where you fit in. You know what I mean? Like, you have to find where you, like, just because one person sits there in this category of interest or whatever doesn't mean another person will. That's what I mean. Like, I feel like religion is, and again, there's a reason why this episode is called Let's Not Talk About It, because it's so freaking touchy, where one slightly different statement will sometimes have the people in that community be like, what are you talking about? So it's kind of like, you have to just kind of be careful. It's just really complicated. Like, the people in the group at my college, they're great people. They're awesome. Sure, I don't agree with I don't agree with some of the things they say, but heck, they probably don't agree with some of the things I do. But we're still friends. So this is kind of a sequel to that Civil Conversations episode that I produced, or that I put out, that I uploaded. So it's kind of like, just because you disagree on something doesn't mean, let's see, you can still be friends even if you disagree on stuff, right? Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong right now. But yeah, no, religion is just, yeah. So when it all comes down to it, what was that? Anyway, just be civil, you know? Sorry, that was just noise in the background, but that's it. This has been the Junior Mints podcast. I have been your host, Finnmints. If you like these episodes, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, to support me. I could really use the support and stuff like that. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.